like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
My apologies, Charlie. I've been cutting you off there. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I really do apologise to Charlie Walsh. I'm bleeding from somewhere. Don't know why. We've got claret coming over there. Claret and Blue Army, innit? Down the bottom there is Charlie Walsh. You know who he is from Hammer's Chat. And to the right is Lucas. You know who he is. Charlie, I'm going to start off with you, mate. 2-1 win. Give me a quick assessment before we get cracking, man.
It was not a smash and grab. Huh? How about some of that? Let's start aggro. No, do you know what? I think I'm super happy with it. I'm super happy with it. Someone in the chat before the watch along asked
with the result or performance?
Both. Not super happy with the performance. I'm not sitting here buzzing about the performance, but it was good enough.
Yeah.
Right,
someone before in the chat said, what's the minimum you would accept from this game? Because the chat was running wild before the game. And they're like, we're going to win 3-0, 4-0, all of this. And I was like, nah, I can't see that.
Yeah, see, I wasn't on that wavelength at all tonight. So I'm catching strays from all sorts.
So I was like, look, minimum 1-0. As long as we get the win here, that's all we need to get the win. But as long as we get that, I'm not really too fussed how it comes. We just have to make sure we get it. And I think the performance was good enough to get the win, but not good enough overall. Like, I feel like we could have definitely done better, but we made it work in the end. That's how I'm sort of at the end.
You're far more elegant than I.
You far more are, Charlie. You really are. I do slightly disagree, though. I'm not going to lie, but we will get into it. Let's start off with this man. Alfonso Areola. I'll start with Charlie, as he is the guest this evening. Thank you very much, Charlie, for arriving. And give me your thoughts on Areola tonight, mate.
Yeah. It's not. I'll say this about Areola in general. I'm really disappointed by him this season. I think he's not had enough opportunities, don't get me wrong. But I think when he has played, especially later in the season, he's not shown the sort of confidence and like slapping down, like, we're making this happen. I am number one that I've wanted him to. Yeah. And today was another good example of that. I feel like in a game where he didn't have loads and loads to do, I don't know. I wasn't buzzing about it. I'm not going to sit here and say he was atrocious, but I don't think he was good enough. I would say probably a low 5, maybe. I don't know. It's difficult. He wasn't great, was he?
That's where I'm at. I'll give you my rating now. I was going to give him a 5. The goal is inexcusable. It's just as bad, honestly, as De Gea's howler on Sunday. But of course, I
wouldn't go that far.
Nah, mate, Charlie, it's a howler. He gets his hands on it.
De Gea, basically, the ball. Listen, we all like Saïd Benrahma, but you don't have to throw the ball into the net for him like De Gea did. My God, that was truly awful.
But what I'm saying is, basically, it's just typical West Ham that everything comes full circle. We get a goal like that against United and win, and then we give up a goal not too far away of quality like that. Yeah, it's just funny. It's so West Ham, isn't it? But 5 for Areola. He had a lot of easy saves tonight. Distribution wasn't too bad, but that goal inexcusable for me. So just a 5. Actually in my heart of hearts, I want to give him a 4 because I think it's inexcusable. But trying to put my logical cap on, 5.
Hard one for me because that's all we had to do is save the goal, isn't it? Let's be honest. What else did he have to do, really? Like, in all honesty, I'm going to give him a high 5. So it's just like it's like an average performance, isn't it? Let's be honest. What else did he have to do other than pick the ball out of his net? Not a lot, really. I don't remember him having to make any saves from them. It's poor goalkeeping. I agree. He's got to do better. He really has. So I'll give him a high 5. Let's go to this man. I start off with Lucas. Thilo
Kehrer, I thought he was okay tonight. Didn't do anything bad, didn't do anything outstanding or stand out-ish. He actually did put in a cross with some venom that was almost Masuaku-esque. Where he crossed the ball and it had some venom on it, but it went like barely over the bar, and it could have possibly been a goal. But yeah, again, didn't do anything bad, didn't do anything that stood out. But he was decent. I wouldn't say average, decent. So I'd give him I'm just give him a solid 6.
Charlie, what about you, mate?
Low 6. He was sort of fine. There's not really much to say about
it. Fever asked
okay.
me what I describe his performance in one word on the afterthought. I said, I said all right.
Yeah, he was all right, wasn't he? I think they look to move to their left winger quite a lot, and I don't think he dealt with it badly, but I don't think he dealt with it super well either. He
didn't have a lot of help though tonight, in my opinion.
I don't think he needs the help. I think if you need help for one guy, I don't know what's wrong with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's important that wingers track back and everything else, and the midfielders get in and do a lot of stuff. I don't know. I think he was just sort of fine. He was all right. I don't think there's much more to it. I don't think he did anything particularly great. I don't think he did anything particularly bad. Low 6.
I'm going to agree. I'm giving him a standard 6 for me. But I'm going to say one thing. I don't think he had a lot of help from Bowen tonight defensively. I think Bowen literally left him so many times, and he was just like Tilo Kehrer of old, basically. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Keep it short and sweet. Didn't really do anything right or wrong, really. So with this man who comes back, who I thought was excellent. Charlie.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good. I was really concerned when he came back that it was going to be too soon from injury and everything. I was really, really concerned. And there was that pass in the first half where it looked like it was going to go beyond him, and he sort of go gadget leg stopped it. And I was like, you can't be doing that in your condition, mate. You can't be. This is just asking for trouble. But he came through the game relatively well. I thought it was a good performance. High 6 probably. I thought he was decent. Maybe low 7 even. High 6, low 7, somewhere around there. I thought it was good.
I'll go next. I'll give him a 7. Literally, right, it's a quick rating for me. I thought he was one of our best defenders tonight. Do you know what I'm saying? He was everywhere. He brought the ball out. He tackled well. He didn't look any time. He didn't feel like he was under threat or in any way. I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he was all right. Lucas, what are you saying?
It's a tough one for me because I really thought everyone in defense today was pretty. They were either average or decent, so there's really not a lot of room to really. It's tough for me. I'm in between a 7 and a strong 6. And again, I'm not going to slate or disagree with anyone that gives him a 7, but for me personally, I don't think he did enough for me to get a 7, but I'm gonna give him a very strong 6.
Oh, I thought he was fucking good tonight for us, though. Don't forget, he's just come back.
He was good, but not a lot of that stretching tackle that he had in the first half that saved a goal. That was good, and like I said in the afterthought, the one little combined tackle he had with Rice in the middle of the pitch, and then he went on and had a little run, was good, but besides that, he was all right. Not a lot of clearances, and we weren't really that active today in defense because really, Alkmaar just got the ball and they sat there. So I mean, again, it's no discredit to Zuma at all, but strong 6. I just a little bit more for me to give him a 7, but I don't disagree with your rating.
All done. Let's move on. We will go to this man, Charlie. What are you saying about Naya Faguer tonight?
Pretty much copy and paste. I think he was slightly better than Zuma, but pretty much copy and paste. I think his ability with the ball is really nice at times. Just grabbing the ball and just going. Actually, I think it was in the second half where he just ran the entire length of the pitch at one point with the ball, and then decided to take on his man. There was a couple. He did really well in that sense. So I'd probably give him ever so slightly better than Zuma in that sense. But I think, like Lucas just said, I think solid performances defensively from everyone really in a game where we weren't troubled too much. And I'm happy to see them two playing together again because I do really, it just is the future of West Ham's defensive partnership next season if they can both stay fit long enough to play consistently enough together. So I would say probably a low 7, just ever so slightly better than Zuma.
I'll go next. I'll say a 7 and all. I thought he was all right tonight. A couple of silly little things he done in the first half. I think it was first or second half. I remember it. Like he fucked up a few times. But other than that, he was all right. I remember him driving with the ball out. Passing is usually good. The only thing with him, he's 1 minute he looks like a well beaten. Another time he just looks like he's not really at it. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the only problem with Aguerd at the minute. We can get the Aguerd consistent, then we've got a quality player. So yeah, I'll give him a 7. Lucas, what are you saying for Aguerd?
Same as Zoom. I'm going to give him a strong 6. They both done some good bits, but nothing like truly outstanding in my opinion. So I mean, I could have gave Kara a strong 6 as well, but he didn't really have any moments like Aguerd or Zuma had. But again, not enough for a 7 for me. And you know, if we did keep a clean sheet, I would probably give them 7s because I do put that into account. That's just the way it is. But yeah, strong 6.
Yeah,
that shot attempt he had though, a strong 2.
It was bad from Aguerd. Right, let's move on to Aaron Cresswell. This is going to be interesting because I thought first half he weren't all that. Well, second half he was a bit better. Charlie.
Yeah. 6. 6. High 6 maybe.
Charlie, what would you give him in the first half? Because I thought first half he was terrible, mate. If I'm honest, didn't really do nothing. If I'm honest.
5.
I don't know. I don't think.
He was just there. He was vibing.
He was just. Yeah, I think we clicked on in general in the second half. I think after the first sort of 10, 15 minutes of the second half, I think we finally realized what we needed to do, and that included Aaron Cresswell a lot more. I think first half, I thought he was fine. I don't think he was that bad in the first half. I thought he was all right. I'd probably give him like a mid-6 overall, maybe probably a mid-6-ish. I thought he was all right. I think he linked up well with people. I enjoyed that side of his game. I thought him and Ben Rama and him sort of that side were looking good together. Mid-6. I think he was all right. Yeah, he was decent.
I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I thought first half he was a bit not all over the place, a bit wrong choice of word I'm using there, but he wasn't effective. Like for a man who's supposed to be able to cross balls in, he didn't cross the ball in really. Do you know what I mean? And every time he got to the ball, he seemed to want to pass it sideways or back. Second half, Ben Rama, Paqueta, and Rice was doing a lot of work on that left hand side, doing a lot of good work on that left hand side. He was a lot better in the second half. So yeah, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. He was decent in my opinion. Lucas.
Cresswell first half just meh, and then second half was a bit better than meh. He had some decent moments. He linked well with Ben Rama. It was weird in the first half. He didn't really link. I'm not going to say well, but him and Ben Rama really weren't cooking anything up first half. But then second half, they started to link up a bit more. And also Paqueta and Rice got in the mix with them on that left-hand side for a spell. So I think Cresswell, again, he didn't do much more than Kara, but he did more, and I think that does warrant him a strong 6. And he didn't do really anything wrong today. So, again, first half he was just vibing. He was just vibing, soaking in the atmosphere, and that's maybe why he didn't do fuck all. But again, I can, as the president of the Vibe Tribe, he can get away with that, I guess. So strong 6 for me.
Strong 6 for you. Moving on to the midfield area. Let's start with this man, Thomas Souček. Lucas, what are you saying?
I seen something on Twitter that just I seen something, man, and that just sent me into the gallows of just I don't know. I'm not going to get onto it, but simple as this. Thomas Souček, worst player on the pitch tonight, in my opinion. Just his passing was shit.
Emotional damage.
Mate, his passing was so bad. Like that. And again, I'm with Charlie. I love Thomas Souček. I do, but like I just have to say it like it is. His passing was diabolical. The one good thing I can remember that he done is he won the ball back high in their box, and it led to a half a chance, I think. But again, just not a lot for him today. I'm gonna give him I feel like this is too kind, but I'm gonna give him a 4. I wanted to give him a 3, but mate, I know what Charlie's gonna give him, and I never get mad at Charlie because I respect the hell out of him, and I respect the way he looks at the game. But there's no way on earth I'm able to give him anything higher than a 4. 4 is generous for me. And you know what? If Charlie, and the only way Charlie will get by this with me, if he gives him a 5, I'll say fair play. I'll move on. But if he gives him a 6, I'm gonna have to go get my dinner.
God,
and
please,
not come back.
no!
High five.
And let me read.
Yeah,
I love Charlie Walsh. That's my brother.
right.
So
Right.
the picture's on Charlie.
Right, the pressure is on Charlie Walsh now from Hammer's chat. Charlie Walsh, take it away for Thomas Suchek, man.
Yeah, he was all right, man.
Go on.
I don't care what you say. I'm more worried about the number you're going to give him. Because I love the things you say.
Without him, we wouldn't have won today. That's quite clear. I think we had no chance without him on the pitch. Half time, people were saying potentially take him off. I was like, bruv, we just need to bombard the box. Just get him standing in the box and just absolutely ping it at his head. And guess what happens? We pinged it at his head. He nods it down. We get the goal. I mean, you know, I thought he did okay. I thought he moved. It was far from a vintage Thomas Suchek performance. Let's put it that way. I think there's been some games recently where he has really turned on that old Thomas Suchek that we really loved at one point. This wasn't one of those. I'm not sitting here saying he was outstanding by any stretch of the I don't think anyone was particularly outstanding. I would probably give him.
Just say it.
I'll give him a 6. I'll give him 6. I don't think he was particularly. It's not like he was I don't think he was particularly unreal, but I think he was important and did what he needed to do. And again, without him, there was no chance of us winning that game. Well, not no chance, but less chance. I think we needed him. We needed him, and he stepped up when he needed it. I think he did okay.
I would have taken a high 5.
I can't accept the 6 out of 10. I'll go next. I'm giving him a standard 5, and he's lucky at that. He is. I agree with what Lucas said. I thought passing wise was all over the place. Someone said to me in the chat, and someone messaged me on Twitter and said, James, I told you Thomas Suchek wasn't right for this game. Like he was getting literally in the first half, Charlie. He was getting the ball was getting played around.
He got the assist.
I know, but like I can't. Let's be honest. Second half, we're lucky. We're lucky in that second half, right? Don't get me wrong. The penalty's a penalty, but you know, I thought he was bang average again tonight. People will say about the assist, but you know what I mean. If you're going to rate him on that, what else did he do in the whole of the game? Not a lot. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I don't really remember him doing any.
I think he linked up relatively well down the right hand side. I think he showed sort of defensively why he's useful. Although I think there were definitely occasions where again he didn't cover himself in glory in that situation at all. And I think again realistically, there are some games where he is necessary, and this was definitely one of those. Not necessary. You want to, if you want to sit and you want to vibe and you'll pass it around, that's great. You weren't passing it into them and getting anything from this game. Thomas Suchek for us today was a necessary evil, and he did what he needed to do. I think he did all right. And also, quick question. Low-key, go on, you first.
Go. Quick question, Charlie. Would you play him in the second leg?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
If anything, we just do what we did for the final 30 minutes. For 90 minutes, we'll beat them quite comfortably.
I agree. I would too. And like you said at halftime of the watch along, I think the tactics we saw today are going to suit the away leg 1,000% more. So I would play Thomas Suchek. And again, I always keep it real. I love Thomas Suchek. If you bleed for this club, I have admiration for you and infinite love. But I can't agree with the assessment. But I do. I love Charlie. I love him.
You love him indeed. We will move on to this man.
No matter what, we will continue our Witherspoons dates. We will eat pizza. We will drink waters.
Well,
that's just the way.
You can do that after these player ratings, lads. Let's move on to Declan Rice. Lucas, I'll let you go first on this one. What are you saying about Dec?
Declan Rice
wasn't good tonight.
Yeah, not vintage at all for me. I thought he had a good 30 minutes though. The last 30 minutes, I thought he was good, but very meh, very passenger for me in the first 60. And obviously the momentum is going to change a little bit once you score a goal. And again, I don't know what it is with this team, but whenever we concede, we just somehow flip a switch, and it never ceases to amaze me. As soon as we concede and we kick off, we have a good counterattack, or we're good going forward immediately. And I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense, and it frustrates me. But Declan Rice, for me, his last 30 minutes was good. I'm not going to lie to you. It was very good last 30 minutes. But I'm going to give him a 6. I wanted to give him a strong 6, but I can't ignore the first 55, 60 minutes.
Charlie.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, he made a couple of stupid mistakes, but also, like you say, towards the end of the game, looked better. Yeah, he's 6. He was fine. A good £80 million performance, James, from Declan Rice today. No, he was fine. He was fine. It was a 6.
Do you know what? I actually agree with you on that though. Tonight, I look at him tonight. He didn't look like the £100 million player that we're all raving about. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he should be controlling this game and running it. And I don't know whether AZ played round him. I will say that. If you look at the way AZ went through the midfield, Declan couldn't really get near the ball because they was going either through Paqueta or Souček. But yeah, tonight he wasn't vintage Declan. Like, he wasn't. I'm going to give him a 6, a standard rating 6 for me. I think second half he was good for 30 minutes, but for the first hour he was awful. In my opinion.
I think there's something Tro's just said there that I forgot to say. I thought his leadership was poor today. I wasn't super happy with his leadership today. I think towards the end of the first half, I think a lot of our players lost their heads. The crowd were going wild.
As they should have.
Happening. Yeah, but you can't in that situation. It doesn't matter what's happening. You need someone there who's going to go, right, if we focus in, we're still on top of it. We can still do.
I agree. I'm just saying, like I don't even know.
No, I don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you, right? I understand why they lost their heads, but in that situation, you want a guy who's going to go, look, we need to focus in. We need to keep on this. Yeah. This is a semi-final of a European competition. We can't be going about complaining about everything right now. We need to focus in, and he didn't do that, and that kind of frustrated me. Thankfully, it ended up working out in the second half, and like I say, I think the second half got better, but that was something that really frustrated me.
Is that a bit of a worry, though, Charlie, for you? Like, because for me, that is a worry. Because, listen, we've got away with it tonight, and we are getting away with it, but I agree with saying what someone said in the chat earlier on, either on the afterthought or on this player ratings right now. They turned around and said that in the first half, there was no leaders on the pitch whatsoever. It was like everyone just didn't have a clue what they were doing. Do you know what I'm saying? So that is a concern to me. That is, like, don't get me wrong. Was he good tonight? No, he was average. Like, he's a bang average player tonight, in my opinion. Yeah. But yeah, we will move on from him. To this man. Now, this man fucking drove me mental. Absolutely mental. I was in a pub and people were going absolutely mad at the flicks and tricks that he's trying to do and giving the ball away. I'm going to start off with you, Charlie Walsh. What's your assessment on him tonight?
I feel like I don't know what us people say, but I feel like as I was looking at the live chat on Twitter and looking at Twitter after the game and probably this live chat, I suspect it's going to be a bit wild. But
wait, real quick, what were you seeing on Twitter? I haven't seen anything, so I'm interested.
I just saw some people. I saw 2 tweets in a row. One was talking about basically what James said, how I don't want to swear for obvious reasons, but like how he effing needs to effing wake the F up and stop doing stupid things.
Yeah.
And then I also saw one after being like, he's so good on the ball. He's this, he's that, the other. It was like one or the other. I can't remember who did it. It was like one after the other. And I was just like, my Lord. But then again, Lucas, you know me, I don't really go on West Ham Twitter too much. So I only really see it straight after the game.
You're such a good man for that. I wish I could stay off.
That's not worth the effort, mate. I would say I thought he did well enough is the way I would word it. I think that Paqueta is one of those players that tries a lot of things, and I don't want to complain about that too much because actually the flicks and tricks he's trying are one of the best things about him. And when people get frustrated that he tries like a back heel that doesn't come off or something else, I'm like, yes, but the only other option in that situation is control it and pass it backwards. That's going to be worse. I would much rather him try something and it not come off.
Right.
And then when it comes off, it's so useful and creates such good opportunities. Like there was this flick thing he did in the second half that got us flying forward.
Yeah, he done that, and then he got the ball back about 2 minutes later and literally couldn't pass it like 5 yards.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. It's like when Felipe Anderson first turned up and Felipe Anderson was trying these like cutting through balls and just no one's on his wavelength and it's not happening. Once everyone is locked in, and I think that midfield three is actually locked in now, but like the players ahead of them, once they're a bit more switched on and attuned to everything that's going on next season, it's going to be so good. And still, there'll be times where it doesn't come off, but that's just football. Yeah, I would much rather him try something and it not come off. Than...
Yeah, but is that a worry though, Charlie? Because against other teams, against better teams, you can't afford to do that. Literally, you can't.
I think against better teams, you have to do that. Because what are you going to do? You're not going to break down Manchester United by passing it backwards. I agree. To have someone. He's been running. He's been running the last couple of games. One of the things that I found really interesting is I was looking. Mark R Stats, who's someone on Twitter who just posts like big statistical breakdowns and stuff. But one of the things he does is like who the game goes through, like what player gets the most amount of touches and everything else. And over the past like 6 months, Paquetas has been getting more and more and more. It used to be all Rice. It used to be West Ham have to play the ball through Rice or nothing else. And it's been slowly getting to the stage where Paquetas is getting more and more involved. And actually, if again, let's say in the summer, I don't think we will for argument, but let's just say for argument's sake, we bought a striker who was good at running in behind, a bit like Mikel Antonio, but a bit more switched on, right? That sort of stuff is going to be absolutely lethal. We just need those little pieces to come together. And once they do, it's going to be so good. Part of me thinks that we should switch. Sorry, I'm getting really into the weeds here, and I apologize. But part of me thinks we should switch Souček and Paqueta around to some extent, because if he was on the same side as Jared Bowen, because Jared Bowen, that's what Jared Bowen's bread and butter is, isn't it? It's running in behind. It's finding that gap and just going in behind, getting onto the end of through balls, right? He's playing with Paqueta. He's playing with Ben Rama on the left, which is really nice because they're both people who like taking the ball to their feet. They get a bit of like dribbly stuff going on. It's all fun. But Bowen's the guy who's just going to make a run around the back. And if he can, part of me thinks you should almost switch those just because that run around the back, he's going to get onto the end of those a lot more. But in general, when you talk about today, I think it is frustrating to watch, but I would much rather him try these things and then not come off than him to just pass it to the side 6 yards. What's that going to do? Especially in a game like today where we need to find those gaps. You have to do that. You can't not do it. I understand why you're saying it's a concern, but you just have to do it. But that's the kind of player he is. I want that kind of person in my team. I don't want Flynn Downs who's going to pass it 5 yards to the right. It's not inspiring. Yeah. It's nothing to me. It's nothing. It's still doing nothing. Paqueta's at least going to create something, you know?
What are you rating him, Charlie?
I don't know, man. I'll give him... It can't be that high because obviously there were a lot of things that didn't come off today, but low six. It can't be that high, but I don't think it could be that low either, personally.
I'll go next. I understand what you're saying, Charlie. I really do. But sometimes things just irate me massively in certain moments. In the first half, there was 2 passes where he had to play Antonio in. On one of them, I remember when Ben Rama got took out, there was another pass in the first half where the ball is a simple, straightforward pass, professional footballer pass, and he's just underdone it, and it's just sort of frustrating. Don't get me wrong, the flicks and all that are all good. It takes pressure off of us. And listen, if he can bring two players in and he can get the ball away from them 2 players and open the space up for us, then great. But it's very few and far between. He had an header in the first half. I remember the ball come in. He's trying to back header it in instead of front headering it in. He's got to go with his
he
back
misjudged the run massively, didn't he? He sort of like that. And it just
It was just everything that was so bad was bad. I'm going to give him a high 5. I can't give him a 6. I thought he was productive, but he was some things he just does. He just wasn't on it tonight for me. Like when I look at Manchester United, I look at tonight. It's night and day with me. Like against Manchester United, he got the ball, he passed the ball, he was excellent. Today he was just not there for me. Right, and it would have been an even lower rating if we would have lost the game. Right, high 5 is me being very kind. So I'll give him a high 5. Lucas.
I just took a look over his stats, and again, I hate stats. I hate looking at numbers because what I see on the pitch is what I see. But
yeah,
he somehow had an 84% pass accuracy. So I guess his intermediate passing was decent. Just his final ball, the one to get someone through, was shocking.
Yeah.
So I knew what I was going to give him before, but now it's a bit tricky because I agree with everything that you said, that Charlie said. There's truth everywhere, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Someone can be 90% right, but 10% wrong. I firmly believe that. There's truth everywhere. But
50% power, concentrated power of will, 90% pleasure, 50% pain.
And 100% reason to remember the name.
Exactly.
But yeah, today the final ball was shit. Intermediate passing, again, stats say otherwise. It was decent. He had 76 touches. So and I don't really pay much mind for the chances created stat. I think that's an absolute sham of a stat. I think it's the most ridiculous stat next to XG. I think it's horrible.
I agree.
But I'm gonna give him. But I agree with Charlie. Like, he tried to make things happen. He's a trier. We all do. I know you love saying that. He's a trier.
Yeah. But is it enough? Like the question I need to ask.
It's not enough for me. And so I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna. You know what? I might be playing it safe with this one, but I'm gonna give him a high five.
High five from Lucas Wallop. We will move on, gentlemen, to this man. Saeed Benrahma. My smile.
Yes, we will let you go first.
Oh, thank you very much. What can I say about this man, right? I told you all that he don't miss penalties, and I keep saying it over and over again. I thought it was excellent tonight, from start to finish. Defensively, pretty good. He worked well on the left in the first half. Second half, he scored a crucial penalty. You've got to give him respect. Literally, I'm sorry, but I can't keep hearing bollocks from people tonight and people before coming out and saying, "Oh, he just scores penalties," right? And he doesn't convince me. When he steps up for that penalty, I'm in a boozer with a load of people. They've all got their head in their hands and they're all like this, going, "Oh, I can't watch." I'm sitting there going, "Here we go, 1-0." Because I've got every faith in this man that he just does not miss penalties.
I must admit, I had my OBS open. Charlie will know. I had my OBS open. I was ready to change it to 1-1 because I was pretty confident. On stream, I didn't sound confident because I didn't want to reverse jinx myself. So I was playing it cool, but I was like, you know what? I have a good feeling he's going to absolutely rip this one.
For me, great penalty. He should have scored another one. I'll be real. The one where
that was a fantastic save from Matt Ryan, I must admit, because at first glance, it obviously wasn't a P roller, but like it didn't look like that great of a shot. But then the replay, it was a fantastic save from Matt Ryan.
I agree with Troj on that. Was ignoring instructions and was positive. He was excellent tonight. I'm going to give him a high 8. A high 8 out of 10. Listen, I don't care what anyone says, and anyone can come at me and say about Benrahma as much as they like. 1-0 down at home, under pressure, he sticks that penalty away. That deserves a decent rating tonight, in my opinion. Like, he's under a lot of pressure to put that penalty in, like in the Bobby Moore fucking stand end. Do you know what I'm saying? So you've got to give him some credit tonight. High 8 for me. Excellent work from Benny. Long may it continue. Charlie.
Yeah, low 7. No, he was all right. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he was all right. I think I agree. I agree very strongly with the penalty thing. I've been saying this for. It was. Do you know what convinced me? It was the Man City pen when he scored the final penalty against that. I was like, that takes balls to do that. Like, to just step up and he looked like he had no pressure. And every time we've had a penalty since, every time he's on the pitch, I'm like, apart from when Noble's there, I'm like, he is the guy to take the penalty, to give it to him. And people were like umming and ahhing about who it should be him, should be this. I was like, no, it has to be. Benrahma is a good penalty taker. I might not trust him to shoot anywhere else on the pitch, but I tell you what, when it's a penalty, you just hand the ball to Benrahma because he will put it in the net. I'm so confident about it. It was the most Benrahma performance in the world. He does really well, misses a bunch of chances that were just, or doesn't hit him just well enough. You're like, bruv, please. And then scores a banging penalty. I think he was overall Yeah, he was pretty good. I thought he was a low 7. I thought he was pretty good. I think he was probably man of the match, maybe. He was probably man of the match. I'm thinking about it. I can't think of anyone who played better than him.
A low 7, though, Charlie. A low 7, though, bro.
Bro, my man gets chances and he goes, what if I pass them to the goalkeeper? It's very impressive how he does it. It's very
most of the time, yes.
Yeah, but first half, he gets a chance, right, where he could have a shot. People criticise him for having shots, yeah? When he don't have a shot, they criticise him again, right? He crosses the ball back post and Bowen takes the ball off Souček's head. Like, literally takes it off his head. Like, if Bowen's not there, Souček's running around the back. Yeah. Would you say he was, like, above average tonight? I thought he was one of our best players. I thought he helped Cresswell a lot. But a low 7, though, bro. You're very, very hard.
He was good. He was probably the best player on the pitch. He was probably the best player on the pitch for us.
He was for us.
He wasted a huge amount of chances, but he was probably the best player on the pitch for us. Like I think just looking at it holistically in its totality, that's what I would say. I think the thing is like it's one of those things where it's like I said he's worth 80. I misworded it, Wolf.
I know that again. Yeah, I know that again.
He's only worth 80. Declan Rice isn't that good, right? Okay, anyway. The point is with Ben Rama, right? It's just those things where it's like the decision making sometimes is just mad to me. Like the shot that Matt Ryan forces is to save from, that's really good. Like opening first half, wasn't it? Where he bends it in, that's going in bottom corner. Matt Ryan without that save, which is really good. That's such a good finish, right? But then there's the one where he's like standing still in the box with the ball at his feet. He has options around him, and he goes, "No, I'm going to shoot," which is it's just not going in, bro. I don't know what you're trying to, unless you strike a ball as well as like I don't know Dimitar Berbatov. This ball is not going into the back of the net, and he shoots it right at the goalkeeper. I'm like, and again, like you say, in a situation in which, say, if we lost this game, there was so many chances Ben Rama had that he should have done better with. That you would go, bro.
There was
but you know what you say though. Just to say this, I just want to say this, Lucas. Yeah, before I let you land. Yeah, you just said to me about Paqueta. You like Paqueta doing them things. See, I agree with you to a point, but then I like Benny to have shots because not a lot of people in our team have shots. Do you know what I mean? If the shots are on target, do you see what I'm saying? So you've got to.
I agree. He would be, if you were to rank the players at West Ham, who I would trust the most to shoot from range. He would be third.
We have no one that could shoot from range.
No,
that's true. Yeah,
but it's that the difference is Ben Rama's wasting opportunities by shooting and doing bad crosses and stuff like that, whereas Paqueta's trying to create the thing. That's the difference. But I do agree with you. I want him. This is the thing. This is why I'm saying he was probably the best. This is why I'm saying he was probably the best person on the pitch today for us. Is because, again, I think without him, arguably, we don't win that game. Just like I said with Thomas Souček, I think is a very similar thing. I think without him, we don't win that game. And you can't, I'm not going to sit here and say he was bad because he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't at all.
Before I do hand it over to Lucas, the penalty, that's a fucking pressure penalty, isn't it, Charlie? Under pressure that West Ham, do you know what I'm saying? Are you surprised that he don't take it? Like, obviously, he started taking penalties this season because everyone else has missed. But he should have been taking.
No decisions David Moyes makes in terms of set pieces surprise me. Aaron Cresswell's the only guy who can take corners, and yet he only does it like 5% of the time. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, go on, Deck, you have a go." What are you talking about?
I actually think Declan Rice takes good corners. That's just
bro. Maybe compared to the rest of the team, but that's like saying.
Well, no, I'm saying at West Ham United, Declan Rice, I think, might be the second best.
In terms of West Ham United, I would put him in the top 3.
I would go Cresswell, Rice, and I don't think Emerson's too bad from corners either.
Yeah, that's okay. But that equally is like saying I'm the best looking bloke in my house when I'm the only one here. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's no one else here. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He should be taking penalties. He should be, James. Like, because he is. If there is one person out of that team, if there is one person I'm giving the ball to score to save my life from a penalty, it's Ben Rama every single time. With not a single doubt in my mind. Here, you take the ball. I trust you to put it in the back of the net. Everyone else, I'm like, him, just give it to him. He'll score. I'm 100% confident of that.
100% agree, mate. Lucas, Ben Rama, mate.
For me, Ben Rama, easiest rating of the night. He gets a 8. my man of the match. He honestly done one thing wrong tonight, in my opinion, and it was Danny Ings had a lovely, lovely cutback pass to him that he absolutely fluffed about 10 miles in the sky over the bar. And that, if he scores that to make it 3-1, I'm booking my hotel to Prague tonight. I'm booking the flight. I'm doing all the bits. But I thought he was excellent tonight. I thought defensively was better than United. I thought he was fantastic defensively tonight. I thought going forward was great. And like Charlie said, there are instances where I'd like him to maybe keep it a bit more simple or do something else. But I agree with your point as well. I feel the same way about Paqueta. So I can't really say that about Benny. But I don't know. It's just sometimes Benny doesn't really show the quality. But tonight, easy 8, man of the match. Defensively, amazing. Going forward, fantastic. Pressure penalty. The penalty was an absolute whirly of a penalty. Matt Ryan even went the right way. No chance he was still saving it. But, yeah, Benrahma deserves his praise tonight for sure. Easy 8. Easy.
Easy 8 for you. Lucas, put the link in the WhatsApp group for you know who he is, WestHamOnline, a.k.a.
I know
Alfie
exactly
Jones.
what's going to happen. I've seen the text. I'm trying to eat dinner, and this guy's going to come on here and waffle for about 50 minutes. We're on a good pace for about an hour show, and he's going to make it an hour 50.
We will move on. Please do smash a like on the video, and please do subscribe to the channel while we wait for Alfred to arrive. We will move on. I will go to the other side of the pitch.
And if Alfie, I'm telling you right now, if Alfie sends me one more text, I'm not inviting him.
Exactly that, mate. You own him tonight, son. You own him. If we move on to Jared Bowen. Charlie, Jared Bowen for you, mate. What you saying? I didn't think he was great tonight, if I'm honest, but he did win the pen.
Yeah. I mean, by getting punched in the head, to be fair. But I mean, I thought he was a bit. I don't know. He just wasn't good enough. I think there were moments, there were flashes of it, but in general, he wasn't good enough. I would say Jared Bowen, 6. John T's probably right. I reckon probably about 6. It's frustrating because he is so when even in a game like today where I don't think he was that good, there were still 1 or 2 moments where he just does something and you're like, there's Bowen, but nah, it weren't him today, was it? It's 6. Maybe even low 6, if I'm being honest. Low six.
Yeah. I'll go next. Defensively, I thought he was absolutely dreadful tonight. I don't know about you. I thought he kept leaving Kehrer literally. Like, if you look at the goal that they scored, Kehrer's got the defender. The geezer comes inside. Bowen's just jogging back, and it doesn't really do a lot. Got to give him some credit for the penalty that he won. He did have a good shot in the second half. If I remember rightly, he'd done a bit of work, cut inside, had a shot, etc. Not vintage Bowen tonight for me. I don't know why. I really thought he would turn it on tonight. I really did, and I was actually quite shocked how sort of flat and bad he really was. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give him a high 5. I can't give him a 6. Do you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Lucas.
Jared Bowen, unimpressed tonight. Didn't think he was too great. I actually think he was definitely one of our worst players tonight, along with Souček, in my opinion. So, but I thought, I don't know. It's a tough rating. I'm going to give him a 5.
Why is he crying for WestHamOnline?
Because I told him if he sends me one more text, I'm not fucking giving him the link.
All right, no more texts. WestHamOnline, otherwise you're sacked.
All I see is the West Ham. Lucas, send me a link in all caps. Send link. Mate, don't talk to me for 10 minutes, and then I'll send you the link.
You got timed out in life, bro.
Bro, I just because I'm that guy. I'm gonna time you out in my personal life.
I will say this about Bowen. I know I like Trini, to be fair. I think Trini's a good guy, but I will say the huffs and puffs thing. Bowen is like our second top goal scorer this season and has the joint most goals and assists. So I wouldn't say he produces little, But I think we've had a bad season. I wouldn't say he produces little. He's been one of the best players we've had this year. But yeah, today he wasn't good enough.
But he has been flat over the last sort of few weeks, hasn't he? Like, he hasn't really been great. Like, he wasn't good against Palace. I remember that game. Against United, he was okay, or better than okay. I think he was decent. He hasn't really been putting up any trees over the last few months. Like, do you know what I mean? Other than the goal against Arsenal, for me.
I think he's probably up there for Hammer of the Year, potentially. He's probably, but not winning it, but he'd be in the conversation of 4 players, probably-ish, something like that. He's probably in that conversation. Yeah. The fact is that we think he's had such a poor season, and yet he's still scored, 11 goals this year or something? Got like 7 I think it's 7 assists. Like, that's a poor season, and obviously his standards, he was incredible last year, and you're never going to match that, but I think that's probably quite a good thing if we think he's having a poor season yet still produces that much.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. Right, let's move on to this man. Mikel Antonio. Mixed bag for me tonight. I'll go first. I thought he was dreadful up until him scoring the goal, Charlie and Lucas. If I'm being honest, like, he couldn't hold the ball, he couldn't pass the ball, he kept falling over the ball. I wouldn't say I would have given him a high 4 if he doesn't score the goal. The goal obviously has won us the game, so that's gonna boost him up a bit more. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. I'm gonna give him a high 5. Probably borderline on the 6 mark. I don't think he was good at all, if I'm being honest. I think the goal covers up his performance. If he doesn't score that goal, like, what's everyone rating him? I don't think everyone's rating him decent.
If he didn't score, I probably would have given him a high 5. I thought he got absolutely assaulted tonight, personally. But
I don't know about that. But,
mate, he got absolutely assaulted.
He's got to learn to hold the ball up, man.
Yeah, but he was also getting tackled. He was also getting tackled behind them not winning the ball first. Him and Paqueta actually got tackled from behind a lot, and I promise you, or not promise, because my angle could have been different than yours. They didn't win the ball, and the ref was just an absolute fucking disgrace tonight. But I digress. I might as well just give you my rating now. I'm gonna give him a 6. I didn't think he was as bad as what you're saying. I thought he was just okay. He made decent runs. I thought he held the ball up all right. But again, nothing like it was like the same as Kara. I didn't think he was bad, but didn't do anything outstanding. I thought it was very meh.
Lucas, if he doesn't score the goal, then
I'm giving him a high 5.
Right? Well, you're giving him a high 5 if he doesn't score the goal.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just thought he was meh.
he was meh up until the goal. Fucking absolute meh. You know what I'm saying? Right, he's entered. You know who he is, the smug one. WestHamOnline. Welcome.
If you keep me past 7 p.m. Alf, I'm doing a live roast on each one of his own TV.
That is true.
Good evening.
Good evening, Alf. Give me your assessment of. Right, I will give it Antonio's, and I'll do quick fire, and then I'll go to Charlie. So Antonio first.
I thought he was crap tonight. I thought his off the ball work wasn't good enough. I usually back up.
Me and you agree. Go on, carry on.
I usually back Antonio, but I thought he was really poor off the ball tonight. But he got the winning goal again, and Big Mick appears in the big games. He just about scrapes a 6 for me as a result of the goal.
Right, quick fire ratings for Alfred. Right, everyone ready? Right, I will take that off and I'll bring it back on.
Hold on. Let Charlie give his rating for Antonio, and then quick fire.
Okay, then you stop me then. Go on. Okay.
Everything Lucas said, I agree with. High 5. I thought he was okay. I thought he was far from his best game by any stretch of imagination, but like, he has so much to do. It wasn't by far his worst game either. So I'd say high 5. I agree with Lucas.
Fair enough, Charlie. Making it easy for us. Right, I will get to Danny Ings in a minute. Alfred, let's start off. Areola, number
2.
That's just fucking ridiculous. And you're telling me I have an agenda.
That is...
I'm joking. 4.
Again, still shit rating. Terrible.
No, it's definitely a 4. I mean, he's got to save that goal. Let's be honest.
Right.
You're such a brown noser, bro.
I know,
This is
mate. I know.
ridiculous.
So I mean, next we'll be saying that Paqueta's not world class,
yeah,
but
but James,
No. Here's a spoiler. This man puts in the chat, Cresswell is superb tonight, but gives him a 7. That doesn't equal a 7 at all.
James,
right.
you've got to admit, Ariola's got to save that goal. Come on.
He has got to say that.
We all agree with that.
Right. Let him land, for fuck's sake. Right. Kara, number.
Oh, he was crap. 4.
Fucking hell, Alf. Zuma.
6.
Agreed.
5. Rubbish.
Ah, mate, what did you go tonight or what?
Yeah, honestly, I thought he was terrible. Every long ball, he didn't win any of them. I don't even try. It was so poor.
But tonight wasn't a smash and grab with these ratings that you're giving.
No, we'll wait till we get to the other players.
Give your ratings and fuck off. Give your ratings.
Cresswell. Go ahead.
Oh, Cresswell was good. The left-hand side were good. He's getting a low 7 for me.
You know what? I gave him a strong 6. So if you want to bitch about that as well in the group chat, please go ahead.
Oh, I can't wait to go on that group chat in a minute. No wonder Charlie left. Fuck me, he's choking on a pizza. Suchek.
Yeah, no, Suchek with another strong performance. High 6.
Alf, are you fucking sure? Of what? Go on.
What did he do wrong? Charlie, what did you give Suchek? High 6.
Yeah. Right, Rice.
Oh, he weren't great, was he?
I agree.
Oh, he wasn't great. 7. That's what Alf said.
No, I'm going to give him. I still thought he was one of our better players. 6.
I agree with you. It's standard 6 for me and all. Paqueta.
Some really good bits and terrible bits. 6.
Fucking leave it. That'll fit 6. Fair enough. But I'm not going to go into that. I've had a discussion with Charlie Walsh all night about that. So yeah.
Oh, Charlie agrees. I knew Charlie. We're just telepathic.
He's pager. Saeed Ben Rama, Alfred.
Man the match. I've got to agree with Moyes. He's got to score that goal that Ings laid off to him, but a great penalty, great build-up play at times in the game. Thought he linked up well with Cresswell. High 7.
Pressure penalty, Alf.
Yeah.
Massive. He does score pens, Alf, like I told you.
How wasn't he an 8? I'm just curious on that.
I think in open play his end product wasn't good enough. He was still as good. I think he played well, but he was still crossing balls off the pitch.
So I think his defensive quality tonight doesn't get him to an 8. Because I don't disagree with your rating completely. Like I think going forward he was a 7, 7.5, but I think defensively tonight he was absolutely unreal.
I think high 7's a very good rating.
See, I agree with what Brian's saying there.
7.
Right?
We've got low 7.
So you're telling me that Ben Rama gets a sort of mid-range 7 out of 10, and he scored a penalty or a high rating of 7 out of 10 when he scored a pressure penalty. Defensively, I thought he was excellent tonight. I think he was our best player in the first half. He created a few chances.
I cannot wait till I come up with this rating scale because people are going to get exposed.
I know.
You seriously sat there and said if we keep a clean sheet, a player automatically gets more ratings, even if they're terrible.
It gets a bump.
So this rating scale's got to be good.
Oh, it's going to be great because if you think that Cresswell was on the same level as Ben Rama tonight, you're smoking crack.
I said Ben Rama was
a strong. What did you give Ben Rama? Sorry,
a high 7.
A high 7, and you gave Cresswell a 7. He was a level above Cresswell today.
It's two low 7, high 7. You know.
Yeah. Well, Foot Mob has got him at 8.8, but we move on. Jared Bowen, WestHamOnline.
Put some really good balls in at the end of the game that players should have been getting on the end of. Weren't his best game, but he's still involved in key moments.
That one he put across the 5-yard box to Danny Ings, he's got to get on the end of that. 1,000% agree.
He gets a 6 for me.
Wrong again.
Fair enough. I thought it was fucking dreadful.
Wrong again. It's higher ratings, Lucas. Walsh agrees. Love it.
Yeah, but you know what? Charlie Walsh, unlike you, is very elegant with his words, and he can explain things a lot better than you.
E20's own TV beef.
You just don't like thinking of football. That's what it is.
Right, gentlemen, chill out, right? Because you both don't know about Ben Rama. I told you both about his penalties. Let's go to Danny Ings. Charlie Walsh, 1 and 2, kiss and make up. Give me your assessment of Danny Ings tonight, and how do you think he done coming on as a sub?
I mean, like, realistically, we weren't going to score when he came on, did we? I mean, this is the thing, right? He links up amazingly for that one chance that Ben Rama skied. But, I mean, apart from that, I don't really know. What's the point? I just don't get the point. I
thought he done all right when he came on, though. I'll be honest. I thought he done better than normal.
This is what I was going to say. Did he do all right, or did he do all right by our expectations?
Yeah, that's what
because our expectations are like.
Yeah, I agree with
that.
I actually, taking away everything that I've seen from Danny Ings so far tonight, looked like what I've been expecting personally. Like, I didn't think he was too bad when he came on.
See, I don't necessarily disagree, but think about it like so that link-up play with Ben Rama, that was really nice. Let's take that out of the equation, right?
And he got on the end of a pass for once. It felt great.
But think about it. Take away that for a second. I think he got on the end of like that one pass, ran a little bit, missed a really good header that he should have nodded in.
Yeah,
I don't know whether that's actually.
He should have got his head on that.
Yeah, I don't know what that's adding up to. I'm trying to take away I'm trying to take away like the like individual moments of going, oh my god, look how good that was, and actually looking at it holistically and going, better than usual. But what's that, like a high five? High five.
That's what I was thinking. High five. Again, that I can't give him that chance he created for Ben Rama though. That should probably be an assist. Yeah, but again, it wasn't an assist. So I agree. High five.
WestHamOnline, do you agree with a high five?
No, I thought that was his best sub cameo. Let me think. That he's done, apart from maybe Larnaca, where we were about. I mean, it was literally impossible not to be decent. I thought he was okay actually tonight. I thought he linked up play well.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a prestige Zinedine Zidane-esque performance, but it was a Danny Ings at his best, which is not very high. So I'll give him a 6.
I'll go high 5. I thought he done all right when he come on. Better than normal. I agree with what Charlie said. Like there's 2 Danny Ingses. There's the one that we expect to do well, and there's the one we get. And we just don't know which one we're going to get each time. So yeah, high 5 from me. Right, let's move to where is he? Oh, someone's actually deleted it. So
what?
I'm going to have to put it. Deleted the poxy ref, but we will come to him. But
I'm going to say Fornals. He tried hard.
Yeah, Fornals.
He worked hard.
Worked hard. Fornals. Right, referee time. I would put it up there, but
I got it. I'll make one real quick. I got it.
But Alf, referee, I'll let you go first. Wait, Lucas is doing it. What are you saying for the ref?
Crap. I thought he wanted to be the centre of attention all game. Every time they had a goal kick, he was like making Souček or Paqueta, whoever was pressing with Antonio, move like a millimetre so he wasn't standing inside the box. It was just ridiculous.
It's funny you say that because the whole watch along, I literally referred to Mike Dean the whole entire time. Like I said, this is a vintage Mike Dean refereeing performance. And thank fuck, me and Alfie finally agree on something.
I mate, you bang on that. I thought the ref was an attention seeker. There's being an attention seeker in a good way where the ref is stamping his authority. This guy was just pointless things. It was stupid. And I don't mean to be discriminative or anything like that, but honestly, send him back to Turkey. And I don't mean that in a mean way. He should not be officiating in this country.
The same way I would send Klopp back to Germany if I could.
And the same way I would send you back to Benfleet, but we move on. He's already there.
Give him. I've not watched the Paqueta pushback or the penalties, so I can't say too much on them. But I'll give him a.
Mate, when you see the replays, you're going to be sick. There was one or two instances, especially the cross that Benrahma put in, that was nowhere near out. Called it a goal kick. And then when Bowen was sprinting down the flank and he saved the ball from going out. Like, don't get me wrong, it was close, but Bowen saved it.
Another one, Benrahma or Creswell or someone like that crossed it in. Their defender chested it off.
Yeah, that's another. No, that's the one I'm talking. That's the one I'm talking about.
Right,
so that one they called out. They called out. They didn't call it out on the defender. They said that the cross went wide, which was fucking shit.
Yeah, I agree. So what are you rating him, Alf?
Do me proud, Alf.
Actually, no, one. We'll go one.
Yes, good man.
Charlie Walsh, you're next, son.
Charlie Walsh will give him a
5.
What are you saying?
Do me proud.
I quite enjoyed the referee's performance. If I'm honest with you. It was quite fun, you know. I think we all need to. I think sometimes you just gotta. Like that was a man in his prime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just happy to be there.
Was he as bad as the referee last season, Charlie, when we done the Leon player ratings, or is he on par with him?
Okay. Hear me out. I don't think he was that bad. I think he got most calls correct. I think he lost. I think my one complaint is I think especially towards the end of the first half, I think he lost control of the game a bit. I think it was all just getting ahead of him, and he was just sort of losing it.
Mate, and that Paqueta yellow that he gave him was fucked. That was nowhere near yellow.
Which one happened? Remind me that one.
Mate, he goes to stick a foot, or he goes to win a 50-50, right? And the defender wins the ball, but they come together at the same time. And if anything, the defender that wins the ball trips Paqueta, and Paqueta gets a yellow, and the other guy gets a yellow for arguing or some shit. Or Clacy gets a yellow for arguing. It was totally fucked. This ref deserves jail time.
I don't know.
Right, Charlie, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'll give him a 5.
5. I'll go next.
Guess which 2 players I had for yellow cards on my bet, and my bet came in, by the way.
Oh,
Paqueta and Clacy. So I was delighted with that from the ref. Actually, I'm bumping it up for that. He gave me 90 quid tonight. 7 for the ref tonight.
90 quid to him, mate. I thought the ref was poor tonight. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'll quickly make this quick so I can get to David Moyes. But I think the penalty he's got right. I think some of the decisions that he made were like...
It's difficult to get a punch in the head wrong, to be fair.
Yeah. But then, even then, he didn't really sort of go for it straight away.
That's about the only thing he got right. And real quick, I have to say this. People on Twitter are taking my fucking tweets and shit way out of context. They're trying to say that I don't think it's a penalty. I 1,000% think it's a penalty. But all I'm trying to say, it is a 50-50 penalty in my opinion, because any
emotional damage.
Any other referee, they don't give that to us, guaranteed. So I do think it's a penalty. But all I'm saying is because these refs are fucking shit, it's 50-50.
Right, let me land, bruv. Let me land. Right. All I'm going to say is this, First off, Benny was getting taken out a few times, literally clipped and digged and everything, and there was no yellow cards coming at all, right? And then the referees just started to make it about him. I'm going to give him a 3 out of 10, and that's me being kind. Yeah, and the only reason why I'm giving him a 3 because he did give us a penalty. That's the only reason, really. Do you know what I'm saying? They got us back in the game.
I'm on your team there, James.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, thank you, Alfred. So, 3 out of 10 for me. We will move on though to the final rating.
I didn't even give my rating. This is my moment. This is my Hamilton. This is my Leonardo DiCaprio Emmy. This is my stage.
Go ahead.
Drop it.
I'm saying nothing.
The ref gets a kind -5 because he did get the penalty right. Thank fuck. Because like I said, any other week that's 50-50 when it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, but it is. We've seen it. And everything else was absolutely shit. That was criminal in my opinion. But normally -10 is handcuffs out the stadium. -10 handcuffs out the stadium. But today was like he definitely there should be a little investigation. They take him into the room, they question him, like, hey mate, you match fixing? And he goes, oh no, I'm not. And they're like, are you sure? Because you were shit tonight. So -5 for me.
Just out of interest, what's a -4?
Ooh, -4. That's like you start a row outside the ground, right? Like they like, you know, I learned this. So like in the UK, they always have police officers in duos and twos, which is weird.
Right.
By the way. So it's one of those like, all right, like I got my other guy with me. Like I'm gonna take you over because like by the book, I kind of got to talk to you and lay down the law, but I'm not gonna do anything to you. That's a 4.
Fair enough.
They're doing their job. That's a 4.
My mind is fucking scrambled, brother. I would get the fucking soundbite out, but I can't.
This is
anyway.
Also, the West Ham fans that called into TalkSport were hilarious.
Good stuff. I will listen to that later. David Moyes, ladies and gentlemen, and the 70 people in the chat, please do smash a like on the video.
There's a typo on his name.
Yeah, there is a typo, but we ain't going to get into that right now, Alfred. But I'm going to start with Charlie. David Moyes, take it away.
I thought he got it right today. I thought he did it. I think realistically, I thought he put the right team out. I thought first half, I thought we were better than them in general. I think my only criticism would be that when we came out in the second half, I wanted to see us really put it on them. And I think for the first 10 minutes, we didn't enough. But then actually, after that 10, 15 minutes period, I think we knew exactly what we were doing. We went about it and we fought our way back into that game and we won it. I thought pretty much from start to finish, outside of maybe taking Antonio off, and even at this stage, he still needs a rest at some point. I thought he got it right.
I actually don't have anything to say. Continue, Charlie. Sorry.
Appreciate that one, bro.
Listen, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm like,
what did you give him, Charlie?
I'll give him a low 7. I'll give him a low 7.
I don't think you're. I don't think you're far off.
I can't give him a low 7, gentlemen. I'll go next. I thought he got absolutely fucking wrong in the first half. Absolutely wrong.
We were a better team in the first half, weren't we?
What did we do in the first half, really attack-wise, though, Charlie? Really?
Yeah, but that wasn't the plan.
Right. The plan was in the first half, right? And I'll look at it from an AZ point of view in the first half for me. Yeah. Sure. They come to our ground. They have all the ball. They silence the crowd. Yeah, and they nick a goal.
I don't know if they silenced. That was the loudest I've ever heard the London Stadium, pretty much.
It was the loudest at the start. But go through. If you was to go back and watch that first half again, halfway through that game, West Ham were quiet because West Ham weren't doing a lot. They was trying. They weren't doing a lot. And I sat there tonight and I was like, they're going to score in a minute because it's just the way West Ham are. I didn't think we imposed ourselves in the first half. I agree with saying what E. Davis said previous, or Troge said previous. There was no leaders in the first half. No one took the ball by the horns and said, we've got to fucking sort this out because we're getting
I agree.
like we're not getting involved in the game for me. Yeah. Second half, different story. Well, I think we was a lot better. We was a lot more proactive and more going forward, and do you know what I mean? Trying to make stuff happen. I think we got away with it tonight. I'm going to say that. Like, and if we would have got out there with a draw, I would have said the same thing. Like, we would have got away with a draw. To come out away with a win is great, but the first half wasn't good enough for me. I agree with you totally. You picked the right team. Like, that's the strongest team West Ham's got, in my opinion, on paper. You'd probably take out Areola and put Fab in, and that's your strongest team. Other than that, I think the first half tactics were completely and utterly wrong. Just utterly wrong. And I think we allowed AZ to be better than they actually was in the first half. And, you know, they was time wasting. They come to play for a draw, really. And when they got the goal, they had something to hold on to. So, for me, I'm going to give him a high 5 for that. I think we've got away with it tonight. Like, the result doesn't paper over the performance for me. It's a great result. I'm over the moon with the result, but the performance was lackluster, to say the least. So, high 5 for me. West Ham Online.
Hello. Mr. Moyes once again showing how to win in Europe. 12.5 that is so far this season out of 13. 12 wins, 1 draw, which was a tactical draw anyway because we won the return leg. Excellent. Okay, some people don't like the fact we didn't press them high. And some people are saying they were there for the taking. We won the game.
I thought we pressed relatively well, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and the way I look at it is AZ Alkmaar had a lot of the ball, but they created nothing. They literally created nothing. Their XG was 0.28. Their one goal was because of a goalkeeper error. Whilst we weren't brilliant going forward, but we still created some big chances. Our XG was 3.08. We definitely could have scored more than the 2 goals we got, and we didn't deserve to concede. So as far as home performances goes, we deserve to win. And once again, Moyes shows he's an excellent knockout manager. And for me, he'd be a target for big clubs.
Fair enough. What are you rating him?
High 7.
Fuck me. Lucas.
Let me collect myself. For me, I'm gonna go through the basics first, I guess. Lineup correct, besides one person, and that's or 2, and that's just down to preference of people. But I wasn't mad at the lineup at all.
I agree. Fab should have played.
And then I don't think the tactics were far off, in my opinion. It's just the way they were executed is what was my problem. So I said it in the watch along. I said it to you. I don't like how much respect we show teams, and I don't think we need to be trying to figure out a side for as long as Moyes likes to do sometimes. After 20 minutes today, I could tell Alkmaar, and I'll be completely honest with you, average as fuck. They had no players that worried me at all. No one stood out to me except their left winger was decent. He was decent. That's it. But because we sat back and respected them and tried to figure out whatever you want to call it, as long as we did, we conceded. Yeah. And I don't care if it's a howler or what the XG is saying. When you set up that way and play that way, all it takes is one moment. And while I agree, Areola should be saving that 1,000%, no excuse. But that's their one moment. That's their one chance.
Lucas, I get what you're saying. You have just said it was a keeper error, but is that even a moment? That's not a moment.
It is a moment because we conceded.
It's a long shot. They couldn't create anything.
I understand what you're saying, Alf, yeah? But the way I look at that is...
Mate, we weren't doing the... Like, I'd rather punch someone in the face than get punched. And mind you, they weren't punching us. We weren't punching them.
Same. I can't lie. I would rather punch someone in the face than get punched. I'll put my hands up on that one.
You got 2 people to stand still. Something will happen eventually. And what happened? Yeah. We conceded. So, for me, like I said, it's a goalkeeper error. It should be saved 1,000%. But we weren't doing any of the punching. And that's the problem to me. We do that some matches for far too long. And like I said, after 20 minutes, I don't think anyone had any inclination that we should be worried about these lot. They're not good, but in my opinion, we showed too much respect for far too long. That moment happened when we conceded, and that's my only issue with the tactics. And I've tweeted and I've said it several times. The second leg will suit those tactics to an absolute T, and I'm very positive we're going to play 10 times better than what we did today.
Lucas, can I ask you one question?
Yes, Alf.
What do you make of the 12.5 out of 13?
Shut
I love it. Up. That's what I expect.
Lucas, what are you rating him before?
So lineup good, tactics. Yeah. I think we're solid, except for the one thing I mentioned, the subs. Not bad. I'm gonna give him again. I don't think Charlie Walsh is far off. I'm gonna give more. He did in the second half. We did improve as well, so there's got to be a bit of credit there. I'm gonna give him a strong 6. We won. And I got to keep the same energy that I do with the clean sheets. If the manager wins, there's got to be a little bump there.
But this is happening one too many times. Like this happens quite a lot with West Ham this season. Hold on a minute. I just want to say this quickly. Yeah, we start slow. We start slow in these sort of games. We started slow against Ghent, and we got away with it. We started slow tonight, and we've got away with it. We're going to come up against a team, i.e., AZ next week.
I don't know if we started.
We wasn't on it. Like
I'm not going to say we started. We didn't come out all guns firing. We weren't like out here round one. Women with the thing leaves the card and then we just wallop him in.
The way I look at that, Charlie,
I don't think we started slow.
Yeah, but would you have said that West Ham come out tonight and had a go at the start? Because I didn't think so.
I think if they don't score in that first half, I think we talk about it very differently. And let's be real, their goal was a freak shot from range that ended up going into the back of the net. They had nothing in that first half.
The keeper needs to flipping sack.
Yeah, but the way I look at it is, if you would have gone in at half time 0-0, how would you assess that half? I would assess that it was pretty poor, but we're better than this side. When we went 1-0 down,
I would have said it's an outstanding benchmark for the second half because as long as we got the lead in this first game and didn't let them get too many away goals, then it would have been good. Really, they should have scored 0 goals. It was a fluke mistake from the keeper. So
and XG says we should have scored 3, but we didn't.
No, I wouldn't even say we should have scored 3, Lucas. I'd say a fair reflection would have been 2-0, which would have been a great result at home.
I disagree. I would say 1-0. That second goal was pure shithouse.
But you can also only play what's in front of you, right? And I think actually we played it well. I think we played our hand well. Now, like I said, I think my one big criticism was in the second half, I feel like we should have come out better than we did. I think we allowed them at the beginning of the second half to take too much control of that game. First half, they did not have control of that game. They had nothing. They had literally nothing.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was an absolute standstill. It was an absolute standstill.
But we came out and we just went, okay, we'll allow you to have nothing, and then we'll go and create some things. And that's what we did. They weren't killer chances, but they were fine. We were doing it.
I don't think we should be judging a man who's reached back-to-back semi-finals here.
Well, I'm going to judge the team's performance tonight, and I thought, personally, I agree with Lucas 100% on this. I look at that first half, and another team, we are down and out. Do you know what I'm saying? They were shit, that team. I'm not going to lie.
My overall thoughts is I'm buzzing with the result, especially going 1-0.
So am I. I'm over the moon.
But
I'm relieved more than anything.
The performance has to be better. Like if I had to grade the side on their performance today, I honestly I don't even want to rate it. But again, I'm happy with the result.
Yeah.
But we need to play better. If whoever says this was a professional or comfortable performance tonight are absolutely lying to themselves. That's my only thing. Yeah. It was not comfortable. It was not comfortable. And it was not professional.
Lucas, I get what you mean. I actually do respect your point. I think, was it comfortable? No, because it in a way, if we didn't get the penalty, it could have been squeaky bum time. But I do think it was professional. I think it was a professional performance. And I know it's not people's cup of tea, but I thought from the start we were going to get the win. And I do think
professional, in my opinion, would have been 2-0 or 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would have been that if our keeper wasn't literally a ghost.
Yeah, no, but you can't say that.
It could have been 3-1 if Benrahma put his one chance in the net. But that's the thing. That's why XG, to me, and these numbers, I don't really give a fuck. It's woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. The numbers do lie sometimes.
I agree with
you. It's a good indication of how you performed.
Right, but the problem is, Alf, if we play like that over there next week, we're going to get done.
If we play like we did today, we'll beat them comfortably at their part.
Yeah, I agree.
They had nothing. I'm sorry, outside of that goal, which was again was freak. Halftime, go back and don't watch my watch long. It's not worth it. Watch Lucas's. But at halftime, Gio came on and we were talking. Disagree strongly, and we were talking right. And I said, look, they aren't going to score again. They have nothing on us right now. They've got nothing.
Right.
We've got them
I
so
agree with
completely
that.
locked down that the only time I was like, the entire first half, I was sat there and I was going, do you know what? They need to counter-attack quicker. AZ need to counter-attack quicker because that's the only way they're going to get anything out of this game.
Yeah,
and they just refused. They were slow. And the one time they counter-attacked quickly, they scored, and it was still a freak shot from range. They were taking punts. They were taking punts from range for the entire game. Just bang, bang, 20 yards, 20 yards, 20. None of them were even close. I feel like
let's be honest though, Charlie.
You go there the other side. You play as defensively well as we did today. You shut them down. They've got nothing. They've got nothing.
Let's be honest though, Charlie. They come there for the draw today. They was time wasting from minute one. Yeah, they come and thought, you know what, we will get a draw here, right? And I don't think they've walked out of there tonight 2-1 down. I think they could quite happily accept that because I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be as bad in Amsterdam. I really don't.
Yeah, but James, I see people coming out and saying, this is what it doesn't wind me up, but I don't get it. People are like, oh, AZ played really well. They looked a good football inside. No, they didn't. They played just as pragmatic as Moyes usually plays that people complain about. But what they did, they played pragmatically with the ball. Matt Ryan stood on the ball. He passed it to the two centre-backs. We'd press, and often they'd find Geordie Classy, or whatever he's called, in the middle, or they'd just give the ball away. It wasn't good football. It was just keeping possession for no reason.
But don't you find though, Alf, I'm going to say this, don't you find it's quite bad that West Ham are sitting there at home and our team's got 65, 68% possession and they're just passing the ball around us and just, well, fair enough, they're not doing much, but I would rather West Ham get the ball and be proactive.
I don't mind that, but like I said, when you're doing that for 60 minutes, that is when it fucks me off, especially
we did the same thing for the entire game. It was 90 minutes we did that, and it worked. It was the right decision.
I just don't like treating AZ Alkmaar like Man United. I don't like that.
The thing is, we have to give everyone we play the respect they deserve. AZ Alkmaar have got to this stage in the competition because they fought their way there. Yeah,
Charlie,
bro, we did it. They fought their way to the semi-finals just like we have. I saw people in a group chat. I mean, this is why I leave group chats, by the way, because I can't be asked, right? But I saw someone in a group chat this week being like, if AZ Alkmaar were in the Premier League, they get relegated. Bruv, we almost got relegated. What are you talking about? You have to be realistic in these situations. The thing is, idealistically, I would love us to come out Pep Guardiola style, banging teams about, let's go. But look, let's be realistic about this. This is the semi-finals of a European competition that we will not see this again like this. We've got it twice in a row. This is insane for us. You have to look at it and go, what's the best way of us beating this team? That's what we did tonight. We do that again there, we will beat them. Listen, let's be real. When we go to their place, the bigger concern is they'll have their first choice left back and they might have their first choice winger back, right? Their best two players back. That's the bigger concern, which means we should be even more pragmatic about it. The fact is, they had nothing. They had absolutely nothing on us today. And do you know what? Without that free goal, we beat them 2-0 quite comfortably. And I'm not talking about XG. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about just realistically. They had nothing on us. It just is what it is. It's not embarrassing. It's a knockout competition. And we're not going to.
But the only thing I will say, though, Charlie, I just want to say this, and I will let West Ham say his bit. The only problem I have with it at present is that we are allowing teams just to play the game rather than us play the game. Like at home,
the game.
Yeah, but for me, it didn't work.
I want to be Sonny Liston. I don't want to be Floyd Mayweather.
I don't disagree with you. What I would say, at the beginning of the season, we tried to play their game. And guess what? We almost got relegated. When we started playing our game again, dare I say it, we went back to Moyesian tactics. We started getting results. We started winning again. We stayed up in the Premier League. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that should be the pinnacle of our ambitions. But I'm saying right now, you're in a European semi-final. You have a final in 2 weeks' time, whatever it is, 3 weeks' time to get to. That's what you have to focus on. We can't sit here and go, let's not be Floyd Mayweather. Bro, let's be Floyd Mayweather and get to a final and win the competition. What are we talking about here?
I get you.
Like, we're not going to come out and banter this team. I'm not being funny. We've got bloody Jared Bowen on one side. We've got Saeed Ben Rama on the other. We've got Mikel Antonio up front. We ain't going to come and banter teams off the park like this. We've got to play legit.
I still think, like I said, I don't really disagree with you. For me, it's just the amount of time we sit back. Because honestly, if I can spot 20 minutes in, like, all right, joke's over. These lot are mid. Let's turn it up a little bit, and they don't.
I agree with you.
That makes me question a little bit. But again, I don't totally disagree. And the one thing I will nail on is that the tactics today will suit us 1,000% better next Thursday.
Can I right before I wrap this up? I just want to ask everyone like this question. Yeah, before I wrap it up, I'll ask Charlie first.
I agree with you.
But Charlie, if we don't get the result today, the 2-1, and just say for argument's sake we draw the game, would you be saying it was right? Because I think the result covers over.
Woulda, shoulda as XG though.
Yeah, no, but what I'm trying to say is
that's what I was going to tell you earlier with when you said it could have been 2-0, but I was like, well, Benrahma's penalty may not have been called.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is this.
I understand what you mean, James. I think yes. I think yes, because it was the right thing for us to do. I think we did the right thing today. I would have come away with that and gone, we should have probably won that game on balance. These things happen. We know if we play like that next time, we'll beat them. That's not going to happen twice in a row. So I would have been fine with it. Yeah.
I hear you, mate. Right.
Just being realistic, because let's be real. If this was the beginning of the season, if this was July and we're doing this against, I don't know, whatever crap team comes up, Coventry or whatever, right? Like, we're doing it against, then it becomes a different story. Then I'm like, okay, maybe we should have done this, we should have done that. But at the tail end of a season, when you're trying to win a tournament, like, I'm fine with it. It's like it's like the England thing, right? When we got to the final and people were like, oh, well, we only played crap teams along the way. Bro, we got to a final. I don't know what you want from this situation.
Yeah.
You either in a tournament situation, you either win or you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have said realistically, if we had drawn, theoretically, we did the right thing. We would have won.
Yeah.
It just happened that they got to score a free goal and we were the better side. These things happen sometimes in football. It won't happen again next Thursday.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. Right, that's been the player ratings for West Ham United 2, AZ Alkmaar 1. Before I go, I just want to get everyone's just quick, basically prediction for next week, how they see it going. WestHamOnline, I'll start off with you. How do you see it going in Amsterdam next week, mate?
I think it's going to go well. I think you're looking at a mini Real Madrid side here. And what I mean by that, because I know people are going to misinterpret it, Real Madrid play a similar, obviously very different due to the quality they have, but a similar style of approach in Europe to what we do. You don't see people complaining about that. They sit off and hit teams with their quality on the counter. We sit off and hit teams on the counter with our quality, but obviously we're against worse opposition. I think we will win 1-0.
Fair enough, mate. You do scramble my brain. I was going to do a soundbite, but I just can't be bothered. Charlie, next week, mate, what are you saying?
I think I probably agree. I think probably 1-0, maybe 2. I can't. If they come up like that again, I can't see them scoring, if I'm being honest about it. Yeah, probably 1-0 as well. I'd be fine with that as well. Let's get to that final. That's all I really care about, to be honest with you. If we get to the final, then we're good. My bigger concern is let's not play the starting 11 against Brentford, guys. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's give Mikel Antonio a rest. Maybe let's give Declan Rice a rest if we can. You know what I mean?
Agree.
Yeah.
Let's make sure that we have our first 11 ready, and if we do, we should be able to comfortable 1-0. I'll be very happy with that.
Yeah. Lucas, next week, what are you saying?
Yeah, I totally disagree with the predicted scores. I think we will concede 1. I'm going 3-1 though. I think this is exactly how it's going to play out. We're going to score first off the counter, of course. Then I think we're going to concede a decent goal, but then we're going to hold them out till about 65th minute, and they're going to start really pressing hard to try and obviously cut the differential, and then we just bang them for 2. So 3-1 is what I'm going.
For me, I expected West Ham to go through this team tonight, and they didn't. Yeah, it was a bit of a bad sort of, not bad performance, but bad first half performance. I will say that. I think next week suits us down to the ground. I really do. I think they are gonna have to come forward and try and attack. I think that's going to suit us down to the ground. So I'm actually going to go for like a 2 or 3-0. Right? I think this team would absolutely pony tonight. I really do. Like, I agree with what the lad's saying. If Ario don't make the fuck up, then let's be honest, it's a 2-0 win. But it's just us I worry about. I don't worry about other teams. It's us. Like, I hope we don't self-implode or do a mistake or do anything stupid. But I think if next week they know it's big, and I think we might get it done. We might be going to Prague, gentlemen. So yeah, 2 or 3-0 next week for me.
I'm not going to go to Prague.
No, you're going to Zante instead, and you're going to watch it. And when Ben Rama scores the goal and he ends up being player of the year, you're going to cry. Your Alfred Jones tears, bruv. So, it is what it is. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there, gentlemen. Charlie Walsh, thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for
inviting me. Subscribe to E20 if you haven't already, for flip's sake. What are you doing, bruv? Press the button. For God's sake. Notification bell so you don't miss out on future content. Bloody hit the like button, bro. What are you doing? It's just 3 buttons. You bam, 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 done. Come on now. Also,
thank you very much.
I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you.
No worries, mate. Much love to you, man. WestHamOnline, thank you very much for arriving, as per usual.
No problem. If everyone can do me a favour and follow Joe Little on Twitter.
Fair enough. And Lucas, thank you very much.
No problem.
If everyone can please do unfollow WestHamOnline, that would be great. Thank you very much. Listen, it's a win. That's the one thing I will say, and I'm really, really happy that we've got the win. It wasn't vintage tonight, I will say that, but a bit like Alfie's football skills, never vintage.
Well, I'm good. I scored a hat trick against Lucas.
Yeah, you don't score hat tricks, mate.
Not saying much.
That is blagging it. So yeah, listen, I'll be back tomorrow with Clive to do a preview for West Ham versus Brentford. The show must go on, and please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here.
With a joke.
Go ahead, mate.
Oh my god! Wait, give me a second.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.